Welcome to the most important week of the year left. There's this week, the first week of October, basically, and then the next biggest week of the year is going to be the first week of December. Welcome. We are going to discuss the big things happening overall, kind of like in a bigger context, and we're going to discuss the week ahead day by day, and we will break it down for all of the 12 zodiac signs. We're going to discuss the Mercury Sun Cazimi happening like honestly, any time between like September 29th to about October the 1st. Big moments, big revelations. We're going to discuss your solar eclipse in Libra happening October the 2nd, and we're going to discuss the Mars retrograde in Cancer. It's not happening yet, but we are entering the degree that it will be happening. So all of this is to help fuel us to prioritize Saturn and Pluto. We live in stirring times, my loves, tea stirring times. From September the 29th to October the 1st, we're in phase 3 of this longer Mercury cycle. This is like the full moon for Mercury, the Sun, Mercury Cazimi, the superior conjunction. It's happening when Mercury is direct, not retrograde. So over these days is when you are allowing the Sun, which is like the king, to bring awareness to Mercury. It's like the king giving the general or giving the general the orders of what to do next moving forward. So these are the days when you're really going to know, okay, I got my orders from the king and I know what I'm going to do. So people are getting this on maybe a conscious level where you literally know what you want to do moving forward, or you are receiving some kind of download through the subconscious of like, okay, I'm meant to go here. I'm meant to do this. This is right for me. Or it could be actual, you get an email, you get a phone call, you get a message, you get a DM, you get something lands on your desk. It's, you know what I'm saying? Something is like, okay, that's it. This is the direction we're moving in. And in the sign of Libra, relationships moving forward. Now, some relationships are not going to be moving forward. Some relationships, there's, people are getting divorced or whatever, but in all cases, it is going to lead you into the eclipse. It is this, like I said, this whole week has a very faded quality to it. We're in the eclipse wormhole, so emotions are running very high. We're on the first eclipse in Pisces, where it's probably destabilized a lot of people mentally, psychically, emotionally. People's faith could have been very, very shaky. Like I said, it really depends on if you have been stabilizing Pisces since March 2023, if you have been keeping current and consistent with your spiritual practices, if you're a creative person, if you've been developing your creativity, if you have been grounding the romance, if you've been, using that beautiful Pisces energy very strongly, very securely, then you could have handled this eclipse, or we're kind of still in it. You could be handling this eclipse a little bit better than most people that are just getting blindsided by the spirituality or the maybe cloudiness or confusion, maybe inspiration, but not trusting it, all kinds of like lost in the fog. This opening the week with this Mercury Cazimi could be very, very helpful to help stabilize anyone that could have been, a little bit discombobulated from the September 17th Pisces eclipse. Okay, so like I said, Mercury is in we're entering the third phase. I'm trying to stay out of this like sunlight. We're in the third phase of Mercury's longer cycle, a cycle that started August the 18th with Mercury retrograde conjoining the sun at 26 degrees of Leo. That was the new moon, how I like to kind of reference it, the new moon, something new starting. But for some of us, this really started July, the middle of July. And if that's the case, then think back to, okay, what was going on mid to the end of July? So for some of you, it's maybe mid-end of July, and some of you could have actually felt your Pisces eclipse September 17th back in July. And so there could be a connection. And that's the same thing with this week. Some of you could be feeling this Libra eclipse the first week of December. Okay, so you either started very strongly this Mercury cycle thinking, cogitating, writing, speaking, mid to end of July, or August 18th, when Mercury retrograded, conjoined the sun, phase one, new moon, thinking, rethinking, reconsiderations, kind of like prerequisites. And if opportunities come in during a Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean that they're bad or not to take them. It just means that when Mercury moves forward into the next phase, that little things will change. That happened. Phase two began August the 28th when Mercury stationed direct at 21 degrees of Leo. That was like the quarter moon, the crisis in action. That from August the 28th to September the 30th was the time to take action on something, lay down the groundwork, execution time, launch your first prototype, launch the first iteration of something. But then when we get to phase three, which is where we are now, Mercury has the exterior conjunction with the sun. So you launch something, you consciously or subconsciously, you did launch something between August the 28th and September the 30th. Now, in these days, from September the 29th until October the 1st, now we're taking stock of what we did, what we said, what was discussed, how we were thinking, especially with like Leo, Libra energy. So now we're assessing this, everything that we did in the second phase. So it's like the full moon, things are fruiting. We're seeing where we stand in relationships. People are telling us where they stand with us, and we're getting feedback. Like we launched that prototype from, I keep wanting to say October, August the 28th until September the 30th, we launched, and now we're getting feedback and we're able to develop it. We're able to see what was built, and we get to refine it, prune off things that don't work, or, you know, things that don't need to be in this relationship. You can say, okay, we're letting this go, we're letting that go. And this is how we're moving forward in this, you know, friendship, in this, you know, what have you. This is going to last kind of a while. This phase, like the word that we're closing out that first iteration, and now we're fruiting, getting like oh, that's what it is. This is where we are. This is what it, that is going to last until November the 26th, when Mercury stations retrograde. And then we're entering phase four, which is like the waning, losing, and like quarter moon, where we're closing out old business. And that's when things are like very completed. We're tying up the Leo loose ends all the way back from August, and the launch is like perfected. You know, that's when it's like very, very polished. And then that's going to last from November 26th to December the 5th, when we have a whole new Mercury cycle starting. And that's going to be, Mercury retrograde is going to meet the sun at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. That's going to be phase one, or like a new moon for the next Mercury cycle. And that's going to be in Sagittarius. So that's going to be kind of like, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. And when we take it through the whole zodiac, we're gonna talk about this in detail for you guys. So don't worry, I got you. Now, the solar eclipse is happening on the 2nd of October. This is releasing something in order to move forward. It is with Mercury. It is with Black Moon Lilith. So this is adding additional power to a redirection, or to an adjustment, or to giving you even more of a fruiting in terms of, you know, something that could have been seeded mid to the end of July, or for some of you around August the 18th. This is like a Mercury cycle all jacked up. You know, that kangaroo, that image of that kangaroo that's like super jacked up, and like it's like that. It's like a super Mercury. And so the solar eclipse is the last solar eclipse in Libra, 10 degrees of Libra, releasing something to move forward. So follow me on TikTok, guys. If you follow me on YouTube, you got to follow me on TikTok. If you're not following me on YouTube, follow me on YouTube. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. It's where the flow goes. That's where the free, juicy content is. So that's really, really going to be of your service. You know what I learned? I had a session with my teacher, my telekinesis teacher, on a Sunday. And I had a question about, I had a really, really strong session with one of my clients. And I had a question about it because I'm asking about the electromagnetism. And he told me that when we have clients, like us people, when we have clients, that you guys are our soul family. but it's not like just like random people on the internet. It's not just like randomly people, just like soul family. And that made me so happy and proud because I love every single one of my clients that I've ever had. And so that just makes me feel so good that we're like soul family. So anyway, okay, solar eclipse in Libra. So we released something to move forward, but I had a Joan of Arc channeling. I talk about the Hot Wheel car, the James Dean, where you pull the rubber, you pull the car back and it zooms forward. It's a new way of saying when you draw the bow back. You take the bow and arrow and you draw the arrow back and then you release it and then the arrow shoots forward, same thing. So it's just kind of a really big one because we're with like Lilith here. So the scales of justice are going to definitely be balanced and it's just very righteous, especially for women, for feminine energy and for the feminine energy in all of us. So everyone has masculine and feminine energy. You have to have the pointy masculine energy that wants things, that defends things, that projects things. And then you have to have the emotional, heart-centered, feminine magnetism energy that just attracts, that just brings things to you. Where you don't go to that, you draw it to you. And so this is a really nice blend. It's a really nice energy. The truth gets brought to light, especially with Mercury being here, being involved. Like it's a super fruiting. And basically relationships are going to be brought to a better place. It's going to be brought to an equal place. So it's a powerful time for conversations, for contracts. Like I said, they could be starting, they could be ending. So in my with my clients, and I'm hearing from some friends that men that have been abused by women are getting their justice. Men that have been scapegoated by women, men that have been taken advantage of, men that have been taken for granted. You know, it's so painful for me to see a man with his beautiful, like divine masculine energy kind of just being wasted. Yeah, there I said it. Being wasted and being taken for granted. And, you know, but you always kind of see that. You see a great feminine with a shitty masculine. You see a great masculine with a shitty feminine. And you're like, oh my God, what, you know? So it's like, this is not just like women empowerment. It's very, very strongly for women empowerment, but it's feminine empowerment. So if you are a masculine that's been taken for granted, that's been abused, that's been disempowered by women, I think we're ready to talk about it. I talked about it during the 𝚑𝚊𝚗𝚎 trial about toxic femininity. This is the original wound. It's the mother wound. This is why misogynists are. This is why men that hate women are men that hate women, because they suffer the initial disgusting injustice from their mothers or their mother figures. They were abused. They were beat down. They were belittled. They were harmed. And so this is, guys, trust me, I am not like rah, rah women, rah, rah men. I'm rah, rah all of us. We all have to make it. So you all, whether you're a man, woman, child, whatever, everyone look forward to justice being restored in any context. Okay. I really just love to advocate for the little guy. That's just really like my thing. So, you know, I'm starting to see that, like I said, and hear that from my clients and from my friends, that men that have been taken advantage of, that have been taken for granted, that have been abused by women, that have suffered injustice, even like as small boys from their mothers, getting what they deserved. Okay. So if there's divorces, if there's breakups, if there's whatever, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, contracts, conversations, discussions, all those things, starting and ending relationships. It's coming up to create a more balanced situations, much more balanced situation. So just kind of, I would say, allow justice to take its course, see what comes up, what gets brought to light from September 30th to October like the 1st, and conflict resolution. That's really what it's going to be about. It's just resolving all this mishigas. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about this through the entire zodiac as well. And then finally, this week, we also have Mars entering the 17th degree of Cancer. So this is going to enter the shadow for Mars's very, very long retrograde. I'm going to throw out some dates, not all of them, but some of them. Mars entered Cancer September the 4th. Mars entered Leo, will enter Leo November the 4th. Mars will spend 2 months, just about 2 months, direct. Then Mars will station retrograde December the 6th, retrograde back into Cancer January the 6th, 2025, station direct February the 23rd, 2025. So Mars will spend 2.5 months retrograde. Mars will re-enter Leo April 18th, 2025, and then re-enter Virgo June the 17th, 2025. Wow. Mars is going to be direct after the retrograde in Leo for 2 months, and then it's going to be direct from Leo going into Virgo for 2 months. 2, 4, 6, 8 now. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be, if you don't use this right, people are going to be frustrated. If you don't do this well, it's going to be people are going to like, so let me put it in this context. So the last Mars retrograde we had was Mars retrograde in Aries. I have my natal Mars in Aries. It was the most frustrating moment of my life. That's when I had my PK pops. A student coined that term, psychokinesis. It's really psychokinesis, but I use the word telekinesis so that my people can find me, my telekinetics can find me easier in the algorithms and the search engines. But it's really called psychokinesis. And so I thought I was sort of being haunted by poltergeists because stuff was moving. But it was my internalized frustration with that Mars retrograde, my natal Mars return retrograde for like 6 months. And I was subconsciously moving shit with my mind and my like frustrated energy. And it's a lot better now. I have so much more control of it now. And I'm actually really looking forward. So I was talking to my telekinesis teacher yesterday, and I'm so excited because I'm going to do what he does when he does demonstrations. He would have like a room of like 30 people with like retreats and have these little things set up, like, you know, around like the room. And then one by one, he would make stuff move, and live demonstration, he never failed. And so I'm going to be doing that too. I cannot wait. I'm just not sure if I should release this documentary before or after the aliens at the beginning of like 2026 or so. That'll happen as it's meant to happen. But anyway, like I said, I'm a lot better with it now. But that Mars retrograde, I was popping off. That's when I bent the spoon. That was like heightened, repressed Mars anger, frustration, resentment activity. That was also the day. So after that long, frustrating Mars retrograde, the day Mars left Aries, went into Taurus, was January 6th with the capital, with all the political stuff. So people could be very, very, very frustrated over these like 8.5 months of it. So here you're watching this video right here, right now. This is your chance to be a winner out of all of that, out of how to actually like use the astrology. You could use the 8.5 months to get a new body. If you want to lose weight, gain weight, build muscle, you know, that's frustrating, right? So you can try to pull the frustration that this Mars retrograde like has to be, and you can pull it into something constructive for you, where you're getting a new body. You are going back to a project that you didn't execute it right the first time, but it's coming back up for you to execute it. Some people are going to be reconnecting with their sexuality, and they're going to be having the best sex ever in a way that they just were very like not getting it, or not getting it well, or not enjoying it, or having sexual issues or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be all bad, and we're here to make it all good. So you want to focus on emotional budgeting. This Mars retrograde means that we've got to prioritize our pursuits. We have to prioritize our passions. 100% of the Cancer and Leo areas of our lives. Everybody else, they got to fend for themselves. You ain't got the time. You don't have it. You don't have it for anything else. So you want to ask yourself, how will you execute this differently? And you're going to be questioning, like, why have I been doing it like this the whole time? Or it's going to be very clear to you why something did not work before and why it is working right now. So in order to like prioritize, it could mean taking care of conflict in the moment, letting it go, have it out, have it out, have it out. I'm a Cancer rising and I'm already feeling this no BS, no bullshit. Listen, I don't have any negative feelings. I have zero resentment. There's nothing. No, I have zero grudges. There's nothing. I have zero negative energy there's no one that I have any ill will towards, and I don't want it. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if anything and it's clean, it feels amazing. I've forgiven my parents. Okay. Like, I really, really feel like peace and amazing. So it's like, if anything comes up conflict wise, take care of it in the moment. Take care of it in the moment. Anger is the human body's like alert system of when someone is pushing on or crossing our boundary. So you got to take care of it in the moment. Otherwise, you're going to internalize it and you don't get to move on. And those people are going to have the worst Mars retrogrades that are not dealing with something in the moment, whether that's sex, conflict, aggression, anger, past resentments, whatever is coming up for you during this 8.5-month odyssey. So you want to take care of it in the moment. Otherwise, you're going to internalize it and you're going to attract violence into your life in some form through the subconscious. You're going to get into a car accident. You're going to stub your toe. You're going to be injured. You're going to suffer, road rage. Some random crazy person is going to jump out their car and bust out your tail light or something. And you're going to be like, I don't even know what happened. I was just so innocent. No, you're repressing your anger and subconsciously you're attracting it into your experience. Like I was with my telekinesis the last time Mars retrograded. And so, you don't want you just want to take care of things in the moment. Use pullback energy. This Mars in Cancer, people could be making you feel guilty, guilting you into being responsible for their feelings. Boundary. Use pull back, use space, use distance, use your boundaries so that you can focus on something constructive, because you don't want to waste this energy. Mars retrograde is going to put you on the right path. It's going to put you on the right of what you're really supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be using your masculine energy. Oh, that's so funny, Titanic. So I watched Titanic like a couple of weeks ago, and I really was thinking about Mars retrograde because he was talking about it like, what was the guy? He was saying he was talking about the captain of the Titanic. So the captain of the Titanic, he's a very seasoned dude. And then I think like one of the investors or someone's like, hey, wouldn't it be impressive if we got there even sooner, if we got there even faster? He should have been like, bro, sit down. Let me do my business. You take care of your business. And we all know how that worked out. But what he says, the line in the movie is that he had 26 years of experience working against him. You do not want to do something as you've always done it. That will work against you. That will work against you. 26 years. Think of Captain of Titanic guy. 26 years of experience worked against him. You have to do it differently. You have to execute differently. You have to engage in sexual relationships differently. You have to work out differently. You have to take care of your body differently. You have to show up to your friendships differently. Whatever, we're going to talk about it for all of you. But you have to do it differently. And that starts this week. There's a lot popping off this week. And what's really amazing about this Mars retrograde is that we've got June, July, and August coming back up for action. So June, July, and August. June and July, we had the double full moon in Capricorn, the blue moon in July. We had the Algol, we had the crazy Algo craziness in the middle of July. August was the Mercury retrograde in Leo. So something about June, July, August is coming up again, but to act on it. It's like action and resolution, though. Action and resolution from now until June of 2025. Okay. All of that for this week, the Mercury Cazimi, this is what we're doing. This is how, this is the what, this is the why, this is the proto, this is the first, what did I say? This is the full moon of it. We're taking stock. This is the fruiting of relationships, attitudes, ideas about people, ideas about stuff. Now, so the king is giving the general new directions. We have a new thing. The solar eclipse launches in. It's very fated. It's like very like fate and destiny take the wheel. I said it on my TikTok. Like let Mercury Cazimi 29th to the 1st bring things to light, bring the awareness in. Let the eclipse do its thing, because you don't want be very, it's like the energy is very powerful. It's very, very, very powerful. Okay. Let the eclipse do its thing. That Mars entering the shadow is going to start bringing something up energetically, or an actual, maybe like an actual issue between you and someone else, an actual project that you tried to launch, you tried to do it and it didn't work. It's coming back up again. Maybe even some kind of like I said, a pursuit. You have to prioritize. You have to emotionally budget. You don't scatter your energies. That's going to work against you. And when I say that, it also applies to getting roped into emotional entanglements back and forth with people. If people are being negative, you need a boundary with it. You need to focus on what's important to you. And you need to focus on your justice. You need to focus on balance in your life. And all of this is serving the agenda of Saturn, the karma, Pluto. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm telling you guys, Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, don't sleep on it. And this eclipse is happening on a Saturn retrograde. Karma. Karma, karma, karma. The past comes up. All of this is working to stabilize Pisces. This is all working to stabilize the Pisces area of your life and transform, overhaul the status quo in the Capricorn area of your life. The status quo is over. Look at what's happening in the world. You all see it. And look at the port strikes. The port strike, we're worth more. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the grossness is like crumbling. So it's like, okay, so for the next, like for the rest of the year, it's going to be like building the new, taking care of the past. Building the new, resolving the past. Building new, taking care of the past. Until we get to spring 2025, and then we're only in the new. All of the outer planets change signs next year. It is a brave new world. Psychics, AI, aliens. You should befriend some of these aliens or AI, or go follow your favorite psychics or something, like seriously. Because that's going to be it next year. Okay. Okay, we did that. Let's go ahead and talk about the day by day. That's your overview. Monday, the 30th of September. At 7:38, we have the moon in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. So this is emotional strength. It's so interesting because we have like, you know, for every new moon, the moon will then go, before that will go through the sign of the previous new moon. So it's like, this is very, very familiar. If it's familiar energy. So stabilizing Pisces, stabilizing the Pisces area of life with emotional strength, emotional conviction, emotional maturity. At 8:10, the moon in Virgo sextiles Mars in Cancer, 14 degrees. We're motivated in the right direction. 13:51, the Sun Mercury conjoin superior conjunction at 8 degrees of Libra. Think back to August 8th. Oh, think back to 8/8, the full moon for Mercury strengthens relationships and partnerships. Wow. And then 21:29, the moon in Virgo squares Jupiter in Gemini and quincunxes Chiron in Aries. So you want to step outside your comfort zone to avail an opportunity. The Jupiter in Gemini is just throwing opportunities, throwing options around, but you need to be wise enough to avail the right ones at the right time. Otherwise, that's when Jupiter, it's like wasted or wasteful or overconfident or egotistical or maybe analysis paralysis. That's more Libra though. Okay. But when you avail the opportunity today, Monday, it's an opportunity for healing. And it may be a little bit like the road less traveled. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Tuesday, the 1st of October. This is really, for me, it just feels like it's an entire month in a day. Like I said, with the Virgo moon doing the trine to Uranus, the opposition to Neptune, the trine to Pluto, we did this already 3 times. We did this 3 times. We did it at the end of August when it was Venus providing the opportunity. We did it with the sun, all of the first beginning to the middle of September, bringing the awareness. This is the opportunity. And then we did it right afterwards from the middle of the month till from the 17th of September to 26th of September. Mercury did it, doing the necessary conversations and the publications, the negotiations and talking and organizing. So we did it all already. This is the moon doing the same thing. It's like a month and a day, from the last week of August to the last week of September. So at 8:59, the moon trines Uranus retrograding in Taurus. There's no apprehension. We've learned to embrace change and go with the flow. 11:43, the moon in Virgo opposes Neptune retrograding in Pisces. Rest, drink your water, meditate, relax, either be creative or seek inspiration. It's like when they say, like, for writers, like if you're not writing, if you're not inspired to write, then read something. It's kind of like that. 14:37, the moon in Virgo trines Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. That's just like great, amazing analytical ability. It's very rare to have that kind of clarity and that insight and that confidence. Honestly, this stuff is best for people that are very comfortable in their own power, very comfortable going on their intuition, very, you have to want it. You have to want to trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing. Tuesday is amazing to me. Beautiful day. And then 14:37, that's the last connection that the moon makes to Pluto. Then the moon goes void until 15:19, and the moon enters Libra. We're working together. Here's the thing. Working together is easy with the right people, with the right ones. Peanut butter and jelly. It's strawberries and chocolate, peanut butter and chocolate. I'm not going to go on this whole thing. I can think of so many things, but like, working together is easy with the right ones, and healthy, positive communication too. Wednesday, the 2nd of October at 4:50, the moon conjoins the South Node in Libra. That's a great time to resolve conflict, to let something go. It's an issue might come up for resolution. And if that's the case, take the high road, be mature, resolve it, take care of it. Then you get to move on. If you hold on to it and the moment passes, you're not moving on. The moment moves on. Other people move on. Situations move on, but you're stuck. Do not allow that to happen. Don't let that happen. Do not hold on to any negative feelings. It feels amazing to have a conflict-free life. It feels amazing to have this internal peace. And I don't have any negative energy with anyone. There's no ugly feelings on my side, anybody. It feels amazing. It feels light. Oh, I forgot to say that. I'll say it in your breakdowns. Okay. But I don't want to get off track here. Wednesday. Okay, and then 11:48, we're at the solar eclipse in Libra, 10 degrees. The scales of justice tip to make things fair and even. Honestly, this is all happening on a Saturn retrograde. I'm a Saturn girl. I'm a karma girl. So I'm just going to kind of like sit back and just like let it kind of happen. You get your own channelings. If you're channeled, if you're you know, guided to do something, maybe I'll get challenged or whatever, but I'm just going to be business as usual on my side. 1519, the moon conjoins Mercury at 11 degrees of Libra, details, information, conversations that remedy any unfairness of the last couple of years that we've had the nodes in Aries and Libra. And with this, it's like, don't get stuck in anything that makes you feel old. Like, and that's how I feel. Like, if there's like a feeling, a negative feeling that comes up, it just makes me feel like old and crotchety. And you, the North Node is you feeling young and youthful and new, brand new again. Go towards those feelings, anger and resentments and all of those negative feelings. That's like old. You know, it's like, so the South Node in Libra, let go of anything that makes you feel old or stuck in the past, or, you know what I'm saying? Move in the direction that makes you feel excited, passionate, youthful, invigorated. That's what I meant to say. So then 2017, the moon in Libra quincunxes Saturn in Pisces retrograde. Embrace the discomfort in relationships to stabilize the Pisces area of life. It may not look how you want it to look. It may not, it may be very strange or unfamiliar, or you may have to be mature and you don't want to be, or you may have to make a commitment. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just embrace the discomfort. That's part of Stoicism, Stoic philosophy too. So it's like, if you know it will help you stabilize the Pisces area of life, do it. Thursday, the 3rd of October at 0000. It's like, yeah, like midnight. The moon in Libra squares Mars and Cancer. Okay, so the negative side, you're going to see a lot of touchiness with this Mars retrograde. People are going to be touchy and kind of bitter, some people, irritable, moody, stay away. Use your boundaries. This could be like that. Like, if you're awake, people don't talk to anybody. People are going to be touchy and irritable, easily aggressive, easily upset, harping on things, and like, just the bad Mars in Cancer is going to be people not letting go of the past, weaponizing the past. Victim turn villains, where they're feeling pain and they're going to project it onto you, and they're going to blame you, and they're going to guilt you, and it's all about perpetrator victim cycles. Gross. 1041, the moon in Libra will trine Jupiter in Gemini. Options and opportunities and ideas in and through relationships. The people in your life are the most important thing right now. And you are in the driver's seat to pick them. You pick the relationships. If you want someone to be your friend, make them your friend. It doesn't always work out. I've tried to make a lot of people my friend and they don't want to be my friend, but you move on. You don't just like be a victim, like, they don't want to be my friend. You know, you move on. There's billions of people in the world. Someone's going to want to be your friend. Someone's going to get it. Someone's going to really see you. But you have to be authentically who you are. You have to pulse your pure vibration like a little lighthouse so they can recognize you correctly and that you can recognize them correctly. And then, oh my God, you know? Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, beautiful moon trine Jupiter. Also quincunxes Chiron and Aries. Confront the insecurities with bravery and courage. And if you're in a relationship, confront it together. Confront the relationship issues together. 2155, the moon in Libra quincunxes Uranus and Taurus. You got to elevate the relationship together or it breaks. It snaps right off. If someone, that's when people outgrow each other. And then there's no, you know, one wants to grow, the other one doesn't. You know, and you can't, there's a little bit of vibrational variance, but if it's too much, then it doesn't sustain. That's why I say, like, in relationships, those people, they're always exactly with who they're supposed to be with, because their energy entrains. It entrains. Only when the variance is too far, then there's a breakup. Then they're ready to go their separate ways and find more appropriate partners. So if whatever is going on in relationships, there's going to be relationships coming together that are fated and destined, and they're a vibrational match. There's going to be relationships breaking apart because they're not a vibrational match. It doesn't make any sense. So but whoever you're with is exactly who you're supposed to be with at that moment, because they're reflecting where you are. So it's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna I'll save it for another video. I'm trying to get through, I'm trying to help get this video out to you guys. Okay, you got to elevate the relationship together or it breaks. 2347 Mercury in Libra quincunxes Saturn in Pisces. That's like telling someone you love the truth because you have to honor your integrity. Your integrity has to be, and you guys know me, like the 𝚃𝚑𝚎𝚢 philosophy, we are truth, love, and integrity in our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. And honestly, that's like the best protection of like negativity and anything that's not meant to get to you. It stops out here because you have the boundary of truth, of love, of integrity. And it doesn't get here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Friday, the 4th of October, 3:39, Moon in Libra squares Pluto and Capricorn. Okay. So we're gonna do a lot of Mars retrograde coverage. One thing we cannot ignore about this Mars retrograde is the opposition to Pluto thrice. Let me get you the dates. The dates for that is November the 3rd, January the 3rd, 2025, and April the 26th of 2025. That's going to be loud. That's going to be very, very loud. Power struggles only happen through an attachment that, okay, so one of my favorite examples to talk about like relationships that can sustain and the ones that snap off, it's like if someone else, if your partner, if you're married, you want your partner to quit smoking, and you're on them about stop smoking. It's not about them. It's about you wanting to control yourself, and you are unable to, and you are projecting your low self-esteem, your self-resentment, your self-frustration onto them and making it about them not having the self-control or the commitment or the desire to quit smoking. It's not about them, it's about you. But you think you're getting closer to an ultimatum. Listen, only Siths deal in absolutes. You think you're going to say, you quit smoking or I'm walking? What? What did Prince say? People don't play me, they play themselves. So it's like, you're exactly with that person. You're exactly where you're supposed to be because you cannot conquer yourself. And you think you don't like this other person for not conquering themselves? Absolutely not. And now my phone's going off. I've been trying to make this weekly for you guys since Thursday, the 26th. But as soon as Mercury moved into Libra, it's just been a lot. And I've been trying every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here we are Monday, and I gotta call this person back now. Okay. Attachments. Power struggles. If you're in like a power struggle like that, you either walk away because you're ready for a better relationship, whether this is a marriage, a business partnership, a family connection, a friendship, a collaboration. You're ready to make that choice that reflects the better self-esteem. And if you don't make that choice, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And whatever you don't like about them, they're mirroring an issue you're trying to work out yourself. And you're not ready. Maybe you don't have the self-esteem or self-belief to be, I don't know, and whatever else. But the power struggles only happen through some kind of attachment. Either Pluto in Capricorn is trying, and then soon to be in Aquarius, before we know it, it's either that Pluto is trying to change your life, take something out, take something away, wants you to release something that you are trying to hold on to, and you're feeling a power struggle inside. Or if you are ready to change your life and you are ready to release something, it's somebody else in your life that you're in a power struggle with, that does not want you to grow, does not want you to release something, does not want you to change or be different. But that you know Pluto wants you out of, that you know Pluto wants to revolutionize and overhaul, end the status quo in the Capricorn area of your life. So you got to figure out how you're going to cooperate with Pluto and honor the changes, honor the transformations, to be more authentically who you are and show up more powerfully, more authentically in the Capricorn area of life through real power, self-possession. So that energy on Friday the 4th, 3:39, it's going to stick through the void until 4:22 when the moon enters Scorpio. And then the colors of the world turn black and white, and it's full-on intensity. Tell me how you really feel. 10:03, Venus in Scorpio trines Saturn and Pisces. I love this so much. These water trines are just so fertile and fecund. It's growth. It's a lot of growth. It's creative, it's romantic, it's mystical, it's spiritual. It's all of that. However you want to use it. However you want to use it. But it's incredibly fertile energy. Whatever you're planting, whatever you're growing, it'll grow easily. The romance blossoms easily. The creativity grows exponentially. You know, the spirituality, the faith grows emotionally so big and beautiful. So use it very responsibly. 2057, Mars enters the 17th degree of Cancer. This is when it starts going back. And we're going to be questioning, why have I even been doing it this way all along? This new way is so much better. And we're going to have that moment in like spring of 2025, but it starts right now. This is when we build, we prioritize our pursuits, we emotionally budget. We're going to be needing to point our pointy masculine energy into the Cancer area, into the Leo area of our lives. Everybody else fend for yourselves. I have to do this. This is I only have so much, I can only feel so much. You have to take care of your own emotions because I got to do this over here. This is what really needs me right now. Starts as early as the 4th of October. 1549, the moon in Cancer, the moon in Scorpio, quincunxes the north node in Aries. Circumstances may bring up a new path, and you want to follow your intuition. You want to listen to your intuition. Okay. Saturday, the 5th of October at 11:27, the moon conjoins Venus in Scorpio. Oof. I love that so much. When I was like auditioning, after every audition, I would have like a slice of chocolate cake. And that's what this is, like that intense, it's like rich and intense, you know, like really, really thick, flavorful, rich chocolate cake. That's all I think about with like Scorpio energy. It's like dark chocolate though, dark chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate girl. Have a cake ready, but there's something you're going to bite into that's just like rich, you know, like an explosion for the taste buds. It's deep, it's intense, it's satisfying. It's not superficial. It's satisfying. It gets to the marrow. Love it. And it's a Saturday morning. Nice. 1527, the moon in Scorpio trines Mars. That's very sexy. That's like a smoldering, smoky, shadowy, mysterious, cool energy, but also emotional boundaries. Very important for emotional boundaries. Budgeting, staying focused, keeping your eye on the prize. It could be kind of secretive. This is great for like privacy, like privately enjoying your chocolate cake. It's just for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to put it out there. You don't need to, you know, it's something about that does feel a lot better when you keep something like just for yourself. My little secret, you know, it's mine to enjoy. 23:27, Mercury in Libra squares Mars in Cancer. You may agree on the goal, on the what, but not on the how. the people, you know, you're on the same page, but it's like there may be like a little, you know, stuff like that. That's all. Just be patient. Be patient, talk it out. You really want to talk it out. There may be this person wants to go in this direction, this person wants to go in this direction, or maybe it's a timing thing. Someone wants to do this at this time, someone else wants to do this at this time. Work it out, talk it out. 2350, the moon in Scorpio, 𝚃𝚗𝚕𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗 Jupiter in Gemini. That is a deep healing. That is a deep healing of multiple, maybe even multiple lives. This could be like a past life thing where something is coming up now that's like a situation from multiple lifetimes ago or a past life. If it's extra juicy emotionally, if someone's feeling extra convicted, extra passionate about something, and it doesn't look on the surface like there should be a reason someone should feel so strongly about something, it could be rooted in a past life. So don't worry about needing to explain big, deep feelings right now. Don't worry. It's eclipse season. Like, don't worry about that. If you're channeling some strong emotions, people that listen to their intuitions are going to do the best on this energy. People that have been stabilizing the Pisces area of their lives since March 2023 are going to be the best at all this, of navigating all of this. Sunday, the 6th of October. Now Mercury is Mars. It's now there's like an acceleration happening. Now there's really a lot of momentum by the end of this week, but it's like boom, 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 Cazimi, eclipse, Mars, all switching gears, leading us into the portal for the next like 8.5 months. It's really important. We're going to talk about it later, but the next biggest week of the year is going to be the first week of December. Okay, Sunday, the 6th of October at 10:08, the moon in Scorpio opposes Uranus and Taurus. It's just time for something new. Growth, you know, it's going to feel good. Like this could make you feel very youthful, very young, new, brand new, excited, but also kind of deep and intense. 12:46, wait, 11:23, the moon, the sun in Libra, quincunxes Saturn and Pisces. Maturity, comply, be grateful. Relationships may be strained. Be grateful, comply, be respectful. Decorum, diplomatic, diplomacy. 12:46, the moon in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces. That's very inspired. That's super creative, ultra romantic, very spiritual. 15:50, the moon in Scorpio sextiles Pluto and Capricorn. We're feeling very deeply. Remember, the deeper the emotion, the more intense the emotion, the deeper it penetrates the subconscious mind. All the Scorpio stuff with the Neptune stuff, these grand water trines, don't waste no feeling or emotions ever wasted, because it is penetrating very, very deeply in the subconscious. And that's where we make changes. This is another amazing revelation from my telekinesis teacher yesterday, is that when you're like at like a higher level of like of energetic self-mastery, then you with your conscious mind program the subconscious. And those are like the programs that are running in the background that are helping you, that are serving you, instead of everyone else in the world being spoon-fed reality and thinking they're manifesting with the 5% of their conscious mind, and they don't do any work of healing the 95% that is their subconscious mind. And they think they're manifesting money, but 95% of their subconscious mind has a vow of poverty in a past life, or it has a script running that money is bad from their childhood, hearing their parents growing up, and then they wonder why it's not working. And like, you know what I'm saying? My TikTok has so much about healing the subconscious mind. I have a video here called How to Heal and Move On the YouTube. Check that out. So yeah. Then the moon goes void, of course, until 1634. The moon enters Sagittarius. It's time for the next adventure. it's time for our next adventure. That next Mercury cycle, the next phase, December the 5th, is going to be interesting. It's an interesting little adventure. But right now we're taking care of this. Okay, then so that's Sunday, and then towards the end of the week, Venus in Scorpio will be applying a trine to Mars in Cancer, the moon in Sagittarius applying a trine to the North Node in Aries. Momentum, momentum, momentum. Very, very, very exciting stuff. Let's take a look and see how this affects you. Take it through the consciousness carousel that is the zodiac. Aries, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs, welcome, willkommen to your week ahead, and really the launch pad for the next 8.5 months. That's going to put you in a whole new position by spring of 2025. The Mercury Cazimi. What is fruiting in your relationships from September the 29th to October the 1st in these relationships with your significant partnerships, marriages, even open enemies, or with your clients, your audience, any one-to-one connection? Take stock and assess from August the 18th, maybe even since mid-July, and see what's being shown, where you all stand from September the 29th to October the 1st, so that you know what you want to develop in the relationships, what you want to develop creatively with a small business, with your sex life, with your joy, with your inner child healing, and prune what you've learned since August 18th, or even as far back as mid-July. For you, the solar eclipse, if there's a power that you or your partner should have had all along, or power issues coming up between you and other people, be prepared for those scales to be balanced. You may lose power, gain power. Your partner may lose power, gain power. It depends. You in a partnership, both of you should be moving towards things that make you feel young and youthful and happy, and move away from anything that makes you feel old and crotchety, and look forward to resolving and healing imbalance in relationships and those power issues from now until spring of 2025. The Mars entering the shadow for you guys. Ask yourself, why have you been acting this way in your family life? Ask yourself, why have you been dealing with your children this way, or your small business this way, or your sex life this way? Or, you're going to be reassessing that for the next 8.5 months and doing it differently, acting differently, treating your family differently, treating your children differently. So you can strategize as early as this week and get some kind of hints as to how you want to execute differently in these areas of life. All of this is to help serve and support. And this could even, it's maybe not your family, maybe not your roommate situation, but ask, why have you been feeling this way this whole time? Why, it's your private life. So even just like you with yourself, having ugly feelings about family members or anything in life, because it's your private life, and doing that differently and feeling better, and resolving, digging up any old conflicts, family wound, whatever, maybe even past life stuff. All of this is to serve to stabilize your mental health, your spiritual health. Saturn is in Pisces in your 12th house of secret sorrows, self-undoing, to get rid of self-undoing and self-sabotaging stuff for you guys, but maybe even help manifest miracles or a support behind the scenes. But you have to be mature. You have to do the work. You have to show up that you want it, that you want that kind of growth. And it serves to revolutionize and help overturn the status quo in your marriage, in your professional status, how the world sees you, what the world knows you for, or you as a parent, to undo the status quo and do all of this differently, to be more authentic and to restore that balance of power. It's a big, big week. You have a lot to think about. Have a great one. Readings are open right now. Patreon is amazing. And make sure to follow me on YouTube and on TikTok. Love you, Aries. Thank you so much for taking up the Aries mantle of consciousness. And have a lovely week. Until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah. Hello, Tauruses, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. And really welcome to one of the biggest weeks of the year. the portal that's going to catapult you kind of to spring of 2025. Okay, so for Tauruses, this week from September the 29th until October the 1st, what is fruiting for you? What news? This is a big one for you guys because it's in your sixth house. What is fruiting in your relationships with coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors, anyone that works for you, your staff, but also your representatives, like manager type people, or what are you doing if you are in that position, if you are of service to someone? What is coming to light for you in these relationships, but about these kinds of topics that you can take stock of and assess from as far back as August 18th or even further back since mid-July. And you get to decide. It's coming up, like, you know, September 29th to October the 1st, where you get to decide what you want to develop, with these people, these kinds of people, or these kinds of projects, or how you want to develop your schedule and your daily routines, the people that you're seeing every day, and maybe even what you want to take on. If you are an agent, a manager, if you're hiring staff, it's like, who do you want on your team? What people do you want around you? You get to prune and develop this. And also from a place of emotional security, an emotional seat of security. So be kind of open-minded. Listen, I'm surrounded by Tauruses, sun, moon, risings. I love you people. You people love me. A lot of times you guys, let's be real here, Taurus. A lot of times y'all can be degenerates, okay? That's why we get along so well. Joking. But you can be kind of belligerent. You can, the Tauruses, like, it's like the Taurus will hate everyone, hate people, but they love me. But try to like open that up a little bit. I'm always trying to get you people to open up a little, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys, so you get to develop the emotional groundedness. You get to develop a stronger emotional seat of security, and like develop the private life a little bit more over the next little while, and prune. You know, maybe certain people shouldn't be part of your daily life. Maybe you should get rid of those people that like make you really like super mad and it's not good for you, raising your blood pressure and everything. You should stay away from too much salt and too much spice with this Mars retrograde. There, I said it. So but from what you've learned, what's really coming up and showing to you from September 29th to October 1st, the solar eclipse this week on Wednesday, if there's a power that you should have had all along over your schedule in your daily life with managers, immediate supervisors, co-workers, staff, or you as a manager, you as a representative to something else, you're going to get it now. Be prepared to be very, very empowered. Be prepared for new people to show up too that could very much help you. So you want to move into the direction that makes you feel new and brand new and young, learning spirituality, because the North Node is in Aries in your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, but also miracles and secret benefactors. So if anything kind of freaks you out, if it's like spiritual or you're having ghostly experiences, maybe you're talking to dead people, like, or there's people kind of weird like that, they're going to help you. It's new and different, but move towards it because it's going to bring you a lot of peace, and they could be a secret benefactor to you, or there could just be generally secret benefactors to you. And it's going to be now through spring 2025, healing a lot of power issues where maybe you just had sucky employees, or you took on sacrifices for people that just like were not worth it. So Mars retrograde is going to be coming in, but this week we enter the shadow period for that. And for you guys, you're going to ask yourself, why have you been thinking a certain way this whole time? It feels so much better to think from this state of mind. You're going to get that. That's going to make more sense spring 2025, but it starts now. You're going to start rethinking things and even speaking. Listen, one of the reasons why y'all and I get along so well is because y'all are so belligerent. accept with me, or I'm one of the people that you huff and you puff and you blow everybody's house down but mine, and I'm just standing there looking at you like, let's go get something to eat. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Butter my butt and call me a biscuit. But honestly, Taurus, all jokes aside, maybe stop yelling at people so much. You guys need to do it, I know, but okay. But you're going to be asking yourself, like, why have I been thinking this way this so long? Why have I been communicating this way so long? Why have I been showing up in my family situations or my private life like this so long? You're going to be reorienting all of that. So you can start even as early as right now this week to strategize how you want to execute communications differently, talk differently, think differently, maybe even negotiate contracts differently, or do contracts differently, or contract different people, or maybe even some changing of the neighborhood, or like I said, who you see every day, and maybe letting new different people in, or maybe just like spiritual concepts, emotional concepts. There could even be newcomers in your family or something like that happening as well. All of this is to further stabilize the Pisces area of life, your friends, your groups, your associations, relationships with older siblings as well. For some of you, this is all to stabilize a dream. Like you can make a dream come true. Taurus's sun, moon, risings. But you got to open up the mind. You got to think a little bit differently. Okay. So stubborn. And then this is also going to revolutionize, completely overhaul the status quo in your world beliefs, in your perspective, with the Pluto and Capricorn in your 9th house. So if you can allow that to happen, if you can allow your belief about life and faith, I don't know if this is like heaven and hell, or if this is politics, or if this is spirituality, or if whatever this is, if you allow those changes to happen and internalize them, you get powerful. This can also be like broader publishing, like marketing, or like a worldwide, going wide with something, like you might even be the one to speak and publicize something, and you know, give big news too over this time. Very, very powerful. If that's the case, be very careful with what you say and how you say it and how you communicate, because your words will reach possibly like a worldwide audience. So you're powerful. You're powerful here. Okay. Okay, my loves. Take very good care. Love you guys to pieces. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. I'll say a little prayer for you. Hello, Gemini. Sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to a commentary week ahead, but one of the most important weeks of the rest of the year that's going to catapult you into this portal to spring of 2025. Okay, so this week we've got the Cazimi, the eclipse, Mars entering the degree of the shadow. So for you guys, the Cazimi, what for you guys is really fruiting in your sexuality, with your small business, with your dating life, with your love relationships, with your creativity, with your passions, with your children, from September 29th to October the 1st, for you in these relationships with these people, so that you can take stock of and assess from August the 18th, or even as far back as mid-July, so that you can decide for yourself what you want to develop, communications wise, contracts, negotiations, rethinking, reorienting, or speaking, or changes in the neighborhood, as well as these more creative areas, or dating based, and pruning away. Maybe some of you are letting go of some dating options and letting go of some creative projects, and focusing more on certain relationships, and focusing more on certain even places in the neighborhood, or what have you, based off what you learn from September 29th to October 1st. The eclipse on Wednesday, if there's a power that you should have had all along, sexually, creatively, or if it is your child that should have had the power, be prepared for that to happen. You want to move into the direction that makes you feel youthful and excited about making a dream come true. And you want to move away from anything that makes you feel old and crusty and stagnant, and just like it's a relic. Okay. It's now through spring of 2025 that you're going to be healing some very, very deep power issues, maybe like obsessing over a lover, obsessing over your children, obsessing over controlling these parts of your life, or giving your power away to someone you're dating, or giving your power away to, you know, something that's not like good for you, that does not bring you inner joy, that's not feeding what your inner child wants. It's not really about a dream coming true. It's more about making somebody else happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get ready for that. Mars entering the shadow degree for the retrograde. Geminis, you guys are going to be asking yourselves, why have I been valuing myself this way? Why have I been making money this way? Why have I been spending my money this way? Why have I been wasting my money in this mishigas this way? Why have I been thinking this way, negotiating this way, talking this way? And you're going to really get it by spring of 2025, because you'll be doing it in a whole different way. But it starts as early as now, that you can start to strategize how you want to execute your finances differently, your values differently, your communications differently, something with the neighborhood happening differently. And this sets us off on the path. And for you guys, this all goes to serve to stabilize your career, your social standing, your relationship with a parent or your parents, your relationship with your children as a parent, your professional, you know, how people see you. It all goes to serve a much deeper transformation that's happening, that you're getting rid of the status quo in how you bond with people and how you put up boundaries with people in the Capricorn area of life, so that nothing has control over you. So it's like resentment can be like on one side. Maybe you think that you're going through some big dramatic thing with a lover. That's all in your mind. And it's not even real. You can take your power back and just stop thinking about it and focus on something that's like making a dream come true in the Aries area of your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that Pluto in Capricorn in your 8th house is like, something's got power over you, but it's because you're empowering it. You have to make the decision. You have to want to grow. You have to want to be in power. You have to want to control yourself. You have to want to move on from something. You have to want to let something go. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to be you pray about it and God just like, you know, I'm healed. You know, no, sorry, you know? So yeah, this is going to be all to fuel a big overhaul of you getting to change your own life if you want it. Love you, Gemmies. Take very good care. Have a great week. Thank you so much for taking up the gentle. Aw, I love you guys. Gentle Geminis. The Gemini mantle of consciousness. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Yay. Welcome, Can, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs to our week ahead. Okay, my loves. So we've got Cancer rising here. We've got the Mercury Sun Cazimi happening from September the 29th to about October the 1st. Take a look and see what is fruiting emotionally in our private lives, possibly even in the home situation, living situation, buying and selling homes, situations with roommates, situations with family, but really it's your private life, okay? And take stock and see what's coming up and assess it from as far back as August the 18th or further back since mid-July, so that you know what you moving forward want to develop financially, in your self-worth, self-esteem, self-value, your spending habits, your like what you're not like investing, but like investing in yourself though. Like it's what you eat, drink, and smoke, and in what quantities you eat, drink, and smoke, and also developing in the home life, in the living situation, and what you want to prune from these areas based off of what you have learned. So you could be letting go, we could be letting go of something that I could see this being like, okay, if money made you feel secure, if buying this thing made you feel secure, you know, then you're letting that go and you have a new emotional seat of security, but you have to let something go. You know what I'm saying? Based off of what you learn from September the 29th to October the 1st. The solar eclipse, the bottom of our chart, the last one for like 9 years, if there's a power that we should have had all along in the family, in the living space, in the roommate situation, in rentals and properties and buying and selling homes and all of, tenancies and all of that kind of thing. Be prepared to have it. Okay. This is where you want to move into the direction that makes you feel so newborn, like new baby, excited, thrilled, youthful in the career space. How people are seeing Cancer, Sun, Moon, risings act and develop in the career. What makes you feel new professionally? What makes you feel young professionally? What are you excited about? Even as a parent, what makes you feel happy and light as a parent? What makes you feel light in your marriages and your, these are like committed marriage relationships, and move away from anything that makes you feel old and crotchety and weighed down like a relic. In like family stuff could be holding you back. Resentments could be holding you back. Family relationships, roommate relationships, anything that makes you feel like old and crotchety, let it go. And from now until spring 2025, be healing a lot of power issues, lots of power issues, not even just like your family in this lifetime, but like ancestral issues and issues that could have been generational, epigenetically passed down up to 14 generations ago. A lot of deep healing. The Mars entering the retrograde shadow this week, it's big for us because it's in our sign. Guys, I already talked about this in my Patreon and my Mars retrograde preview. Haha. We are a force to be reckoned with. And I know, I get it. I get it. We're like the crybabies of the zodiac. I get it. I totally get it. But we are ready to be tenacious for ourselves. So we're not going to be crying that someone else doesn't love themselves enough to blah, 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 whatever the fuck, okay? I'm already feeling it. Like I just don't have it. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the patience, the attention span. I can't care. It's weird. I can feel it. I can really, really feel it. I only want to do what I'm here to do. I'm only here to do God's good work. I'm only here to do what I'm here to do. And if I don't care if someone has a weird reaction to it or doesn't like, I don't hold space for it. I don't, and I can't, and I won't. So we are going to be asking ourselves by the time we get to spring 2025, why did we care so much about this all along? Why were we doing things this way that whole time? So we're literally going to be acting differently in any area of our life. We get to choose. So you have to be so responsible. I'm sure we're going to see Cancer, Sun, Moon, risings just spilling, stepping in it, getting looped into stupid power struggles with people that are not going to matter in your life a year and a half from now, or care about things that don't matter. You're going to be people are going to be missing opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, remember, prioritize your pursuits. This is the week that you're going to start to strategize how you want to execute you going after your goals and you doing your life differently. This has to do with self-esteem. This has to do with self-worth. This has to do with making money and finances and resources. So Cancers could be really shifting how we're making money, how we are spending money, how we are valuing ourselves differently. There ain't going to be room for anything. Everyone else fend for your freaking selves. Cancer, Sun, Moon, risings, unless there's appropriate boundaries and there's zero ick feelings and there's zero resentments and there's nothing weird and there's no weird emotional shit bullshit, Cancers won't have time for it if you're cross-watching. We're going to be, the ideal is to be passionate on what you're doing, what makes you feel youthful and excited in the career space or as a parent or in your marriage. That's what it needs to be. Everything else is like static. It's filler. Okay. All of this is to stabilize Saturn and Pisces. It's to further stabilize and concretize your worldview. Maybe you have been learning under a teacher like me, my telekinesis teacher. Maybe you are the teacher. Maybe this is going to stabilize some of you that are speakers, marketers, foreigners, foreign travel. Maybe you're relocating somewhere. Maybe you are coming home from abroad. Maybe you're going wide with something. Maybe you are going to be giving, you know, a message, getting your message out and stabilizing yourself as like a speaker or something like that, or as a publisher, being published. This would be like a real publisher. This would not be like you're ready. If you self-publish, you're ready to take that into a bigger publisher thing. So, you know, to stabilize your life perspective and to get real about it and get really real about it. This is also all moving towards to complete the revolution that is happening in the Pluto area of life, of getting rid of the status quo, whatever that was in your relationships and the partnerships and that other person. And honestly, if you're in any kind of power struggle with other people during this time, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You need to use Pluto's at 29°40' of Capricorn. Your partners should be empowering you, making you feel amazing, making you more powerful, sharing their power with you. If you're roped into a power struggle, maybe this is the last leg of it, the last death rattle of it, and you're finally putting that to bed through getting out of a power struggle. Okay, fine. But this is really revolutionizing your relationship with other people, with your clients, with your open enemies, with your best friends, with your marriage partners, with your top collaborators. It's like that's that one-on-one, your therapist. And so, yeah, showing up to relationships differently, thinking about relationships, your approach to relationships very differently. But this can also, listen, the powerful people are going to be there, but it's how you're using the energy and what did you learn? For me, the past billion years that Pluto's been in Capricorn, I've literally been enmeshed and entangled with serial murderers, a couple, psychopaths, and very dark underworldly people that I was, but also a billionaire, also my telekinesis teacher. How are you? It's your responsibility of how you're choosing the people in your life. So if you're like a victim, like, oh, they're so much more powerful than me. Oh my God, they're hurting me. You're a victim perpetrator. And you're, you know what? I'm done. We're done. We need to move on. I love you guys so very much. My Cancer brothers and sisters. If you need more, book a reading, join the Patreon. There's a lot more over there. Follow me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok. I love you so very much. Power to all of us crabs who move in the sideways, but we end up where we Forrest Gump our way there. Love you. Have a great week. And until next video, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah. Hello, my beautiful Leos, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, welcome to your week ahead, but really the portal that's going to catapult you through the next 8.5 months and land you in spring of 2025. Okay, so the Cazimi from September the 29th to October the 1st. What is fruiting for you communications-wise, especially anything that crosses your desk that like just makes you see things very differently, or any kind of messages, contracts, negotiations, communications with your people that lets you know where you stand with them, or where they stand with you. What's fruiting? What are you seeing? Possibly leading you to change how you're communicating, but take stock of it and assess it from as far back as August the 18th of this year, or even as far back as mid-July of this year. What comes up for you now allows you to develop yourself in any way that you want to develop, and it allows you to think differently, speak differently, communicate differently, write differently, or pick up a project again. Something based off of what you learned, though, from September the 29th to October the 1st. And based off what you're talking about, you speaking and other people to you, okay? This solar eclipse on Wednesday, if there's a power that you should have had all along in a contract, in a negotiation with a sibling in your neighborhood, be prepared to have it. Be prepared to have it now. And you want to move in the direction that makes you feel new and young and youthful in life perspective and integrity. it's like you want to be very open-minded right now to discovering whether that's religions, philosophies, world beliefs, spiritual beliefs, or if this is higher publishing, bigger marketing, campaigns, publications, publicizing things, and sharing your life perspective with the world, or like searching, like searching for meaning of life in a documentary, and you're sharing it with the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you could really be, but it needs to be something that makes you feel new. You need to be like a student of philosophy, a student to a spiritual teacher, a student to learning a new language, relocating something far away, something like that. And stay away from any way of thinking that makes you feel old and crotchety and like outdated, like behind the times. Okay. Now through spring 2025, you're going to be healing some of these deeper like power issues that your mind was seized. Maybe you grew up, I'm getting like, it's been very psychic in this eclipse wormhole. You could have grown up like seeing a lot of violence and just thinking that that's how the whole world was. And you're about to be like relieved, like a new little baby discovering some higher truths about life. Mars retrograde, we enter the shadow this week. And basically for you guys, you're going to be asking like, why have I been having this spiritual weird belief or this negative world belief that I've been living my life in this whole time? And you're going to get that. That's going to make way more sense spring of 2025, but it starts right now of you discovering a greater truth about life, it's like you are discovering spirituality. Like maybe you've always thought it was just like the religions and you only had religions, but like now this Mars in your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, but spirituality, miracles, and secret benefactors, behind the scenes benefactors could help you heal faith wounds and help you heal your subconscious and help you heal and through understanding and energy work how you have self-sabotaged in the past based off of like an incorrect belief system. I really like this for Leos. Some of you could be, to the more unconscious people that are not watching this video, they're probably going to go through like a spiritual crisis, like for the negative. But you watching this video here with me, I got you, you got us, you got, no, did I say that right? You got me, I got us. I think that's how it's supposed to go. I got us is what I'm trying to say, is that, I'm going to help you guys with this, or this big spiritual reorganizational process. So hopefully you guys will be now this week strategizing how you want to execute differently, maybe even doing something behind the scenes, going back to a project, but it would be something you're working on behind the scenes and getting it all ready to debut when Mars enters your sign again. And then it's going to be like go time. Then it's going to be like a brand spanking new Leo, sun, moon, and risings. All of this serves to stabilize the Pisces area of your life, your 8th house. For some Leo, sun, moon, risings, this whole thing, this 8.5-month portal is going to be overcoming your fear of death. Maybe you're going to join Patreon for $11.11 a month, and you're going to join our astral projection stuff where we're practicing astral projection, and then we're going to be having meetings in the astral so that no matter where any of us are on planet Earth, we meet in the astral, and there's no barrier. There's no way that I cannot talk to you, that I cannot reach you, and that you cannot reach me wherever we are on planet Earth, because we're both going to be able to astral project and go to our astral meeting places and discuss. And astral projection is basically like you're practicing death, you're practicing dying. There's an art of living, there's an art of dying. And so that could maybe help some of you overcome a fear of death. So this could, for some of you, not for all of you, but for some of you, it's going to be feeling so much better about death, feeling so much better about spirituality, feeling so much better about your worldview. And that's going to help stabilize the Saturn and Pisces in the 8th house, which is dealing with death and dying and overhauling, transforming your entire life. So you'll feel more confident changing your life, or more confident about transforming your life, or more confident about this whole thing, about changing your spirituality or your belief systems and all that jazz. So also like intimacy. If any of you have like intimacy issues, you could be feeling this could be working to stabilize intimacy issues where you're getting over it and you're able to really like bond with somebody and really connect on a very, 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 very deep level. And this is all going to help Pluto revolutionize your health, your daily life, your fitness, rituals, routines, agents, managers, coworkers, immediate supervisors, people you're seeing every day, and possibly even taking on worthy sacrifices, worthy, like heavy lifting for a worthy cause. So it looks beautiful. Love this for you guys. Take very good care. Have a great week, Leo. Sun, Moon, Risings. Thank you so much for taking up the Leo mantle of consciousness. Until the next video, my dearies, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah. Hello, my beautiful Virgo, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, welcome to your week ahead. Okay, so for the Cazimi, what has been fruiting or what is fruiting for you from September the 29th to October the 1st when it comes to your money, the money you have right now? If you emptied all of the couch cushions and when all of your winter coat pockets and your bank and your cash, that number, that is your second house. Where do you stand with your finances, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value, what you eat, drink, and smoke, and in what quantities you eat, drink, and smoke, how you're taking care of your teeth? What is fruiting for you from these days that you can assess from August the 18th or even as far back as like mid-July? And based on what comes up for you from September the 29th to October the 1st, you get to decide what you want to develop spiritually, because that's where the retrograde started, in your subconscious, in your secret sorrows, self-undoing, self-sabotaging thoughts and thinking and feeling and behaviors, and what you want to prune or develop, how that connects with your earning ability, how your, like this is also miracles and secret benefactors. So you're going to see how it's working out for you from September 29th to October the 1st. And based on that information and where you stand, even with the relationships with people that are of value to you, relationships are assets to you, possibly even with women or through feminine themes. So based off of that, mid-July, August 18th until September 29th to October the 1st, you get to take stock of what happened, what didn't happen, how you feel, and move forward from there based off of what you learned. So you could be getting rid of self-sabotaging things, or valuing yourself more, changing what you're asking for monetarily because of an improved self-esteem and improved self-worth. And then the solar eclipse on Wednesday, if there's a power you should have had financially, you be prepared to have that. This is a huge one for Virgos financially, with their self-esteem, their self-worth, the money they have right now. And you want to move in the direction that makes you feel youthful and light and young in your bonds with other people. So that's your North Node in Aries in your 8th house. That's saying, take the leap of faith and be an individual and be brave and be courageous and be with other people that are like that. Partner with other people that are brave and courageous and individual and bond with them. So you want to move in that direction that makes you feel like light and youthful and young, and with other people that are that self-confident and that you are both individuals going in the same direction. And you want to stay clear of any like ties to people, or you want to stay away from any feelings that make you feel like old and crotchety. Those are like the values that you're like shedding and letting go of at this solar eclipse in Libra. Old ways of feeling good about yourself, old values or old ways of valuing yourself, like just thinking that you're only going to earn money like this or this way, or whatever. Now through spring of 2025, you're healing these deeper power issues where maybe you gave your power away because you don't value yourself enough. And you know what I'm saying? So this could be a whole big thing for Virgos in that sense. The Mars retrograde shadow this week for Virgo sun, moon, risings, you're going to be asking yourself, why have I been keeping these friends all along? Why have I been chasing this dream? And that's going to make so much more sense by the time you get to spring 2025. But now it starts as early as now, where you're going to be strategizing how you want to execute your professional relationships differently, your professional alliances differently, how you go after your dreams differently. And this is going to be really affecting you in your subconscious and really activating a lot behind you, like your 12th house that you don't see. It's going to be bringing a lot of things to light about yourself, of why you've been holding yourself back, or choosing either professional alliances, friends, groups, associations that hold you back, that you chose because you're holding yourself back. And you're not, it's like you're using friends, groups, and associations to hold yourself back because you don't believe you deserve it, or that you can earn it, or that you can ask for that much money, or you can go for that big dream. So I see Virgos re-executing and doing it differently when it comes to their friends, groups, associations. And so this could mean battles and arguments and breakups with friends, pursuing different dreams, and going to examine some subconscious stuff, going to examine some like self-defeating things. So that's going to be a thing. But you're going to, as early as this week, just strategize. Like, how do you want to do it differently? There's no room for anything else. Everything for you is going to be pursuing the dream differently, or making a dream come true differently with different people, or, you know what I'm saying? And then exploring that subterranean realm, that spiritual realm, and connecting more with your spirituality, or therapy or something, but just getting rid of any self-sabotaging stuff for the Virgo, Sun, Moon, Risings. All of this is to further stabilize Saturn and Pisces, your relationships. The people are so important for you. And if you've been stabilizing and maturing and growing up and taking the right people seriously, and, not getting roped into victim perpetrator stuff, or feeling sorry for people, or weird energy, weird attachments, and, then this is going to go way better for you. But anyway, all this is to serve to stabilize how you approach partnerships. They need to be with respect, with maturity, and with compassion, with empathy, but like in a healthy way, and with the right people, and the right people for you as well. Also, this is all going to revolutionize and overhaul your relationships with your children, with your creative small business, with your passion projects, with your pets, even with Pluto and Capricorn in the 5th house. So there's no more status quo. You cannot continue on as you've continued on here. And it's a revolution. Viva la revolution. So it's exciting stuff for the Virgos. Love you guys. Thank you so much for taking up the Virgo mantle of consciousness. Until the next video, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. How exciting for the Libra, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. This is the biggest week of the year for you guys. Okay, just hands down, huge, huge for Libra, sun, moon, risings. Okay, so this is a portal that's going to take you all the way through to spring 2025, Libras. Okay, for you guys, what is really fruiting and coming to the surface of your awareness, kind of even just like landing right in front of you, like right in your face, right on your desk, from September the 29th to October the 1st. This is anything that is personally meaningful to you. It could be about any area of your life, but it's changing you. You're seeing yourself differently, okay? And whatever's fruiting for you over these days, it could have, you're going to take stock and assess from as far back as August 18th, or even as far back as mid-July of this year. And given what you're seeing now, you're going to understand all of that time in your life and contextualize it to right now. And that'll help you decide how you want to develop and what you want to do to develop yourself, like what you personally really care about and want, and possibly even a friendship, or friends, groups, associations, maybe even a dream of yours, a dream that you want to make happen or come true. You can develop that, and it could even mean that you prune other things, either about yourself, some things that you thought about yourself and you don't think them anymore, or pruning other goals or dreams to be able to pursue the one that's the most meaningful to you, or even like friends, just like groups and associations, just kind of like calming it down over there so that you can prioritize what's really meaningful to you based off of what you learn from September the 29th to October the 1st. Your solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra. If there's a power that you should have had all along, be prepared to have it. Be prepared to have it. You're just going to take that power right on back. Move in the direction in your relationships, your primary partnerships that make you feel young and youthful. Choose partnerships, choose people that make you feel young and youthful and excited and passionate. And move away from relationships and people and interactions that make you feel old and crotchety. That's like a relic of your old self. You're moving on. You're moving on into newer, better, greater, stronger everything. And it's now through to spring of 2025 that you're healing these power issues and this mishigas between you and other people, where you're going to feel so much more energized to be with partners or be with people that make you feel so youthful and alive and excited and passionate about pursuing a goal. They're going to be just as independent as you. They're going to be respectful. They're going to be fun. It's going to be easy. And then maybe you're doing this together, or it's just a friendship. A friend becomes an intimate partner possibly over these next 8.5 months. But it's going to be healing a lot of power issues where there was the imbalance in relationships, or maybe you overgave, gave too much, or whatever it was. Mars entering the shadow this week of their retrograde, you're going to be asking yourself, why have I been doing my career this way this whole time? Why have I been taking this kind of action in my career this whole time? It doesn't make any sense. Why have I been surrounding myself with these kind of people this whole time? That's not even true to me. It doesn't even make any sense. That's going to make more sense in spring 2025, but it starts now. It starts as early as this week, where you get to strategize how you want to execute differently in your career or in your relationship with a marriage partner, in your relationship with your parents, or you as a parent. You're doing that differently. This is going to be very interesting to watch on the world stage, because Libra Sun, Moon, Risings are going to be really overhauling their careers. They're going to be like changing directions. They're going to be healing relationships with their parents, parental wounds, maybe some anger stuff coming up to the surface and expressing that and allowing that to work out parental issues, or you as a parent, or you in your marriage, but then also working out the people you surround yourself with. The alliances, the people that are supposed to support your career, that are supposed to support your growth, your career growth. And you're going to be like, why did I even have these people around? Why was I even into these people? Why was I even hanging out with these people? Why was I even, or pursuing a goal? And for some Libra Sun, Moon, Risings, this is going to be reclaiming your spot at the top, reinvigorating a project, reinvigorating a career. And so it could be bringing up a lot of energy where you're just going to be focused more on the career and on making a dream come true. And then every other area of life is going to have to fend for itself, because Libra's got an agenda. All of this is to further concretize and stabilize the Pisces area of your life. So you're going to be working, burning the midnight oil, maybe making some small scale sacrifices, but for a greater purpose, for something you really truly believe in. And you're going to be devoting all of your hard work towards something very meaningful. Now, this can also be sort of more your relationships with people you employ, maybe your staff, managers, immediate supervisors, representation. And there's something going on to stabilize that relationship, or be very committed there, or overhauling, stabilizing, concretizing your health, your routines, maybe getting the new body, maybe, working out and getting really, really strong. All of this is also pulling to revolutionize your private life, your emotional seat of security, overhauling the status quo in your family. Maybe you're going to be becoming the head of the table, matriarch, patriarch, and kind of, or maybe just the family is changing. Outsiders becoming insiders. Maybe there's, new people coming into the family, or you're dealing with family karma, home, family, living situations, roommate situations. And it's all, the status quo is out the window. If you overgave power to any of these people, you get that power back now. So if there was, just look for those scales to be balanced, okay? Wow, very exciting. Love you guys. Take very good care, Libras. Have a great week. Have a wonderful eclipse. And until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Hello, my beautiful Scorpio, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. It's a big one, not just any normal week. It's one of the biggest weeks of the rest of the year. The other one being December 2nd, the week of December 2nd. This is kind of a big portal that's going to catapult you to the end, to the spring of 2025. Now, you guys, this is heavy. So for Scorpio, sun, moon, risings, you guys, this Sun Mercury Cazimi happening from September 29th to October 1st is brooding so much in your subconscious. This is karmic. This is fated. This is the stars align. This is synchronistic. This is illuminating something to you that was either self-sabotaging or self-defeating, or it's miracles, or someone's coming through that's like a secret benefactor to you. And you could definitely be talking to dead people or getting more spiritual or getting really, really psychic over the next 8.5 months. So see what's coming up. See what's coming up from September 29th to October the 1st, what's fruiting for you in your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, but miracles and secret benefactors and spirituality. You're going to take stock and assess from August the 18th, maybe even as far back as mid-July. And you get these answers during these dates from September 29th to October 1st. And you get to decide, what do you want to develop professionally? What do you want to develop even behind the scenes professionally, based on what you've learned, based off of what is now coming to light, maybe even very secretly from September the 29th to October the 1st. So you get to decide what you want to prune professionally, what you want to prune as far as like bad habits or addictions or kind of those kinds of things are concerned. This could be professional, or it could be you as a parent, or your relationship with your parents, or even your relationships with other professionals, other VIP type things. And your solar eclipse this week on Wednesday. Oh my God, for you guys, it's so big. If there's a power that you should have had all along, subconsciously, if you should have had control over a part of yourself, if you should have had more self-possession, if you should have been aware of something, if you should have healed something, be prepared to have it now. This is your time to heal, to be empowered, to have that secret benefactor, to have spiritual power. And it's huge, or to have a huge awareness for yourself. Move in the direction that makes you feel youthful and young and excited and passionate day to day. This could be that maybe you're making decisions about staff, managers, immediate supervisors, representation, people that you're seeing every day. Choose people or be around people and do things that make you feel youthful. You know, pick up some health thing, you know, working out or something, and surround yourself with people that are independent and strong and confident and creative, and they maybe also have a youthful spirit to them. And stay away from anything that makes you feel old and crotchety. That's like a relic. It's something that was working against you, or even just having like a negative view on anything. And now through spring 2025, you'll be healing those power issues that way, where there was a way of thinking about people or relationships or women or feminine energy that was holding you back, that was disempowering you, that was, you know, creating loss or something, where now you can get it back. Now you can heal it all up. Mars entering the shadow for their retrograde. You Scorpio sun moon risings are going to be asking yourselves, like, why have I been thinking this way? Why have I been seeing life this way this whole time? And therefore making career decisions based off of that limited worldview, that limited world belief. Or even why have I even been communicating like this and publishing big, you know, coming across this way this entire time? It's not even me. That'll make way more sense in spring 2025, but it starts as early as now, where you are redefining your integrity. You are going to be strategizing this week, even as early as this week, how you want to execute differently when it comes to speaking what you believe, your faith, redefining your faith. Your whole belief structure is going to be overhauled. And that could affect how you communicate to a wider, maybe like an audience, if you're like a speaker or something, or a publisher or a marketer, or you just do something where your message reaches a lot of people. You're going to be re-messaging because of the way you're acting differently, because you could even be connecting with a fated teacher throughout this time that's going to teach you spirituality or teach you a new belief system. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's a religious thing, maybe it's energy mastery, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be, it could be for some of you, and you could even reconnect with your power, spirituality, your power in your integrity, and get like revitalized in this area. And that's going to affect your career. It could really, you could have a very splashy new career, like a very, very entertaining, you know, loud, glitzy, glammy. It's like a new polish. It's like a new, I put it like a new coat of paint, but like different, because of an evolving world belief or an evolving integrity. So it, like I said, it starts as early as this week, how you are going to strategize, even strategy itself, how you're going to strategize differently, how you're going to achieve differently, and how you want to execute differently. Maybe even like contracts, or like rethinking the kind of people you learn from, and rethinking what you're learning. And I would just keep a very open mind for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Risings. Keep a very open mind so that you can learn more and you can like absorb more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to do really well for you, either as a parent or as a professional in your career, in your relationships with other professionals, your relationship with your parents. And some of you, there may even be like reconnecting with soulmates. Not for all of you, maybe for some of you. All of, and maybe some, this could even be where it's like some Scorpios like, I'm never going to get married. Not for me, not my thing. Not going to have kids, not my thing. And you could surprise yourself. It could be someone that's different though, very different. So keep a very open mind. All of this is going to support the stabilization of your love life, your creative passion projects, your relationship with your children, your small business with Saturn and Pisces in your 5th house. So for Scorps, you're not dating frivolously right now. Since March 2023, it's like you're serious. You're taking it very seriously. You're taking your children seriously, your inner child healing seriously, your small business seriously, creative passion projects seriously. So it could have meant a decrease in these things, but only the serious ones are going to like stick and remain. So all of this could actually be fueling to stabilize and concretize and further commit to a passion project or a love relationship or inner child healing. All of this is also going to continue completing, helping Pluto complete the revolution happening in your mind. Like you guys really are thinking differently. It's necessary to think differently, to communicate differently, to entertain new different ideas, discussions, maybe even like contracts and negotiations differently. Very, very powerful time. Like these would be very big things happening for the Scorpio Sun, Moon, Risings at this time. So there's just throw out the status quo of how you used to think, used to communicate, used to believe. Whatever you used to believe about the world, you know, that could all be thrown out the window with any kind of self-sabotage, addictions, bad habits, anything not serving you, anything working against you behind the scenes. Throw it all out in one wash this week and get to work on building the new, building the new, building the new. You remember, you want to feel excited. The people you see every day, you want to feel excited and passionate and youthful. Okay. So keep the open mind, because that's going to help you feel more youthful and connect with the people you're supposed to connect with. This is very fated destiny time for Scorpios. Love you guys. Have a great week. Take very good care. Until next time, and many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Hello, my lovely Sagittarius, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to your week ahead. It's not a normal week, guys. It's going to catapult you to spring 2025. So let's dive in. You guys, this early of the beginning of the week, the Mercury Cazimi from about September 29th to October the 1st. What is fruiting for you? What is coming to fruition with your friends, groups, associations, long-term plans for the future, dreams and goals for yourself, where you really stand with these people, where they really stand with you. Also, maybe social media, if you post stuff on social media. Take stock and assess from August the 18th or even as far back as mid-July. What comes up from September 29th to October 1st, you'll know where you stand and know what you want to develop in your spirituality, in your belief systems, maybe relationships with foreigners and teachers, maybe with marketing and publishing, and what you want to develop with these friends, groups, and associations, and maybe prune, maybe some things are leaving your life. You're letting go of believing a certain thing or thinking a certain way, or letting go of certain friends, or certain friends are letting go of you. And from what comes up, decide what you want to develop and what you want to prune moving forward based on what you learned from September 29th to October the 1st. Your solar eclipse in Libra is in your house of friends, groups, and associations, and long-term plans for the future, dreams coming true. So if there's a power that you should have had this entire time, that you should have had all along, be prepared to have it in these communities, in these groups, and these friends, and these associations. You want to move in the direction that makes you feel very youthful and young and excited and passionate creatively. This is about your self-expression. And you want to stay away from any friends, groups, associations, or those relationships, or even goals and dreams that make you feel old and crotchety. Okay. It's now through spring 2025 that you're going to be healing the imbalance of power issues in these areas where maybe you gave too much power to the friends, groups, associations, caring what people think about you, or social media or whatever. And you get to pull the focus back on just having fun and inner child healing and feeling joy and just being happy, or maybe with your kids, that kind of thing. Okay, Mars entering the shadow this week for their retrograde. You guys are going to be asking yourselves, why have I been so afraid of life changing? Why have I been doing these bonds with these wrong people this way? Why have I been putting up boundaries with the wrong people this entire time? Why have I been not choosing better intimacy with certain people and Xing out the wrong people? And like, why have I had such a weird relationship with teachers and foreigners? And why have I been doing it like this whole time? It'll make so much more sense spring 2025. But it starts as early as now, because this Mars retrograde is in your 8th house of bonds and boundaries and intimacy and like enmeshments of what we're like enmeshed with, that's like toxic or unhealthy or healthy and positive. But it's something that could have control over you that you're choosing. You know, you keep going back to it. Also processing hard feelings, processing murky feelings. And then the retrograde's also dipping into Leo, which is your 9th house of gurus, guides, mentors, integrity, world beliefs. So you have to redo how you are seeing life, how your integrity is on its feet in action. You're going to be redoing. Now, there could be adjustments to these bonds. Like there could be breakups. There could definitely be big life transitions happening. And yeah, breakups and just redoing the bonds where you're like, I want to bond with this. I'm not going to bond with that. I'm going to put up a boundary with this. I'm going to put up a boundary with that. And just doing that differently, but over 8.5 months. But it starts as early as this week, where you get to strategize how you want to execute differently. And this is also your money that you invest, or money that you share with other people, sexuality that you share with other people. So if you were investing with a foreigner, this could be where over the 8.5 months you pull out or they pull out. Or if there was something with you and a teacher, mentor, guru, guide, that relationship's getting reworked or retooled or going through different boundary bond type changes. But personally, look at the belief systems and look at what you're bonded to in your world beliefs and how you're seeing the world, because that's going to affect everything else. So, therapy or emotional healing and keeping an open mind, and through all of that growth, acting differently. going to probably serve you the very best. All of this goes to stabilize the Pisces area of your life. All of this is going to stabilize and supposed to stabilize your private life, your emotional seat of security, what you can stand on to then flourish in the world because of how stable you are emotionally. So I know it's like, it's on you. You've got to take care of your emotions. You've got to take care of yourself. So all of this is going to help take care of yourself. Maybe even a home situation or a family situation, or helping to heal family karma, family wounds. This is also all going to help Pluto revolutionize your value systems, with Pluto and Capricorn in the second house. So this is the time when some Sagittariuses are like crossing the threshold and becoming millionaires and super millionaires and everything. And all Sagittariuses are going to be completing this revolution, overturning the status quo of value systems of, this is no longer valuable to me. This is not real. This was just keeping up with the Joneses. This was just, superficial. This is, or the money situation, the financial overhauls, financial situations changing to overhaul, to more appropriately reflect belief systems for you guys. Love you guys. Take very good care. Have a wonderful week, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for taking up the Saggies mantle of consciousness. Until the next time, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful headstones. How absolutely incredible, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Risings. Everyone give yourself a pat on the back. For us, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Risings, we have really just, this is going to be our whole little circuit thing here. Okay, so welcome to your week. This is like one of the two biggest weeks of the entire year. The other one being the first week of December. And this is a portal that's going to take us all the way to spring of 2025. And for us Capricorns, this is huge. This is a big season for us. The Mercury Sun Cazimi from September 29th to October 1st is in our 10th house of career, social status, social standing, professional relationships, our relationship with our parents, our relationship to our children, if any of us have children. And you want to see what's come up, what's coming to light, what is fruiting in this realm with these people from September the 29th to October the 1st. And from what comes up, this is big on communications and messages and negotiations and phone calls. And, it's eclipsey. We're in the eclipse wormhole. So it's like very synchronistic. Things could be coming in about this area of life from other areas of life. Like it's all very mystical and magical. So see what comes up and take stock, and it'll help you better assess from August the 18th of this year, maybe even as early as mid-July of this year. And you get to decide what you want to develop in the Leo area of life, what you want to develop in the Libra area of life, what you want to develop in your bonds and your boundaries, in your faith in life, if you can trust in life and how you trust in life, and develop professionally what you want to move forward on in the career space, or with whom you want to move forward in the career space, and maybe prune in some of these areas. And because this is very much dealing with other people could quit your job. You could, Capricorns could be resetting professionally, could be resetting in bonds and boundaries and intimacy with other people. So this could be a very big identity change for Capricorns, and it's going to be professional identity changes, but based on the changes that are happening overall in life. So you really want to trust in life and trust in changes and trust that everything is happening for the better, for your highest good, as they say. And when you decide what you want to develop in your trust, in your bonds and boundaries, in your intimacy with other people, and intimacy with life itself, and how you are coming in professionally, and how you want to revitalize yourself professionally and prune from these areas, it'll be based off of what you've learned or what's come up for you from September the 29th to October the 1st. Solar eclipse on Wednesday is in the 10th house of career and social status, parents, us as parents, and our relationship with other professionals, if there's a power that we should have had all along, be prepared to have it. This is when the scales get balanced in righteousness with Black Moon Lilith. This is the time for Capricorns to step into the power and be, through synchronistic events, through fated events, step into the power. We and you, Capricorn, want to move in the direction that makes you feel very youthful and young and excited and passionate emotionally, or what brings so much more happiness and youthful energy in and through the home. So this could be tenancies and rentals, buying and selling homes, roommate situations, family situations, and you want to move away from any feelings with your parents, with your children, in your marriage, or professionally that make you feel old and crotchety. It's like a relic. It's just like it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's not the vibe. And this is about your empowerment and your career and your status and how the world comes to see Capricorn. Now to spring 2025, you're going to be healing these deeper power issues. And so, like I said, it's you need to be very confident emotionally. You need to feel youthful and light and passionate and excited emotionally in your private life. That's like so very important. Okay. Now, the Mars retrograde enters a shadow this week, all of that emotional budgeting. So for us Capricorns, we're going to be asking ourselves, why have we even been acting and approaching relationships this way and bonding with these people? That'll make more sense spring 2025, but it starts right now, where we are acting different in relationships. There's different kinds of people that we're in relationships with. There's different people we're bonding with. Now, this is like a retooling of your relationships with your one-to-one people in your life, your marriage, your clients, your audience. So this is a big moment. This is like it's like overhauling the career and all of these relationships. So if you post online, this is all the Capricorn Sun Moon risings that post online. I'm expecting to see a big change in the identity and in how we are interacting with the audience. So that's going to be an 8.5-month odyssey, but it starts as early as now. So you can start to think and strategize how you want to execute these relationships differently. And when it's on the one-to-one basis, when you're choosing like a professional or collaborating or something, your approach, how you act and how you behave and all of that is going to be different. It's going to, and you know what, for some Capricorns, this could even be the karmic return of a masculine partner, that it's like that it's very fated and karmic, but it's coming up to bond with and to help heal, maybe even sexual healing, maybe even healing intimacy wounds. And you know what I'm saying? So for some, not everybody, but for some, but for everybody, we are going to be acting in relationships very differently. And if you're partnered, your partner could even be going through a whole metamorphosis, like they may be acting differently and changing their bonds with you and how they're intimate or not intimate with you. So that's going to be like a whole big, like I said, a whole big odyssey journey. All of this for this week goes to stabilize your mind, the mental acuity, the mental strength, possibly for some Capricorns, writing and negotiating contracts and communications related endeavors to stabilize and give it some structure. All of this is also going to help Pluto transform who we are at the core level, who we are. It's like, it really is like a kind of a moment for Capricorns, because Capricorn, we've had Pluto here since 2008. And like I said in the overall, it's just been so much. So this is about our empowerment. This is about us channeling our own power and being authentically who we are and being very confident, having that emotional seat of security, that private life. That North Node is in Aries. That's very independent. That's very confident and brave and courageous. So with Pluto, like all of this is to help Pluto overhaul, revolutionize, and throw out the status quo. So whatever, like be okay and keep an open mind, seeing yourself differently, very differently, so that Pluto can really throw out the status quo of like how you even thought of yourself like 20 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Like just let it happen. This is very big overhauling of the identity. So Capricorns are ones to watch at this time. You're going to be seeing yourself differently. You're going to be seeing partners differently. Professional stuff is changing. The best is like being secure emotionally with yourself and having a strong private life. Okay. Now, some of you, it's like home and family and stuff like that, but you know, private life, it's not, there's home and hearth and kith and kin. There's like your public life, which is that 10th house. Then there's the personal life, which is like your friends and family. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your private life, but that's just you and your meditation, you and you're talking to your deity, your God, you talking to your higher self, you and your channelings, your private life. That needs to feel youthful and excited and exciting and passionate. You need to be happy within yourself. And that's going to help the Mars retrograde in your 8th house and helping you trust in life, take career in a new direction, revolutionize your identity, choose partners differently, all of that. I love you, Capricorns. Take very good care. It's gonna be a good one for us. All right, my loves. Until next video, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. How exciting for the Aquariuses, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, welcome into your week ahead. One of the biggest weeks of the year, the other one being the first week of December. It's a portal that's going to catapult you to spring 2025. So pay attention. All right, Aquas, we have, I'm an Aquarius moon. We have an Aquarius Mercury. The Mercury Sun Cazimi from September 29th to October the 1st is happening in our 9th house of integrity, world beliefs, life perspective, also like publishing, marketing, foreigners, foreign travel, like big relocating, like overseas relocating. But it's really what you believe, what you truly believe about life, your life and everybody else's life, what you think about life and death and afterlife, politics, like beliefs, world beliefs. Okay. This is getting overhauled. This is like, okay, so what is fruiting for you that you maybe didn't think was possible, or that is like getting reset for you? I actually had a session with my telekinesis teacher on that day, on Sunday, yesterday. So September 29th. So it blew my mind. And so for you, take a look, September 29th to October the 1st, what is coming up that is kind of just showing you that you just didn't think right. Like keep an open mind, okay? Like you just didn't have the right orientation, and it's probably going to be through another person, a foreigner, a teacher, guru, guide, mentor, an advisor, maybe even like a lawyer or something, or about a litigious situation. Okay, so it's like whatever you thought, what you see, what is really fruiting for you over these days, and take stock and assess from August the 18th, or even as far back as mid-July. And you get to decide what you want to do and how you want to develop your relationships with other people, possibly even other people that can teach you something. They're going to be the most valuable to you, people that you can learn from. So, you know, people that you esteem very highly, and that, or what you want to prune, like certain relationships that you're pruning in your life, or they're walking away from you, maybe, you know, lawyers and stuff coming in and out of your life or whatever. And all of that will be from what you learn from September 29th to October the 1st. And your solar eclipse, Wednesday, if there's a power that you should have had all along, either litigiously, spiritually, as a teacher. So some of you could be like actual mentors and gurus and guides. You could be the one publishing something. You could be the one to speak from your personal experience and help educate others. If there's a power that you should have had to do that, or if you gave all your power away to a foreigner or something like that, you're going to get it now. Be prepared to have it now. And you want to move into the direction of thinking that makes you feel youthful and young and brand new again, and excited and passionate, maybe even about a writing project or communications project, or connecting with people in your neighborhood, or, you know, siblings, and whatever makes you feel happy and excited and new. Keep a very open mind. That's going to make you feel happy. Stay away from anything that makes you feel old and crotchety, especially when it comes to belief systems. You might find that what you believe about the world is so outdated. It's not cute. It's old and crotchety, and no one thinks that way anymore. And everyone else is thinking so progressively. And here you are, the Aquarius. You're supposed to be 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Why are you, of all people, holding on to outdated belief systems? Doesn't make any sense. So let it all go. Anything that makes you feel old and crotchety in your belief systems. Now through spring 2025, you're going to be healing a lot of power issues. And for me personally, like when I started this Mary Magdalene, that I didn't know she had like her own words. I had no idea. This was very new. This was only like discovered in the 1800s, like 19th century. And then it was, I think it got like published and dispersed like in the 1950s. Like, so I did a TikTok about it. There's going to be a part 2 coming up. I'm saving it. But like, it's been healing faith wounds for me and belief wounds for me. And I come from a lot of institutional trauma. Like I have an authority issue, like a little bit with like churches and religious institutions. Like it doesn't vibe with me. It does not resonate with me. So it's been very healing for me to like actually read Mary Magdalene's words and like get her perspective. It's been very big. So that's been part of it for me. Part of it's definitely learning from my telekinesis teacher and all that stuff. So you keep an open mind, because it's going to be healing where, you know, maybe they did you dirty in that Roman Catholic school growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, you know, you, or, you know, maybe you got like bad politics from your dad or something like that. And you just want to love your dad. So you just believe whatever he believes. And it's like, that's not helping you. That's hurting you. It's poisoning your mind. You know what I'm saying? So there's just going to be something that you're ready to let go of in terms of how you see the world or what you believe, your life perspective. And then also this week, Mars enters the shadow of the retrograde, 8.5 month. Oh my God. We are going to be asking ourselves, why have we been taking this on that wasn't worth it in the relationship? And why have we been making the wrong sacrifices for the wrong things? And why have we been structuring our day this way? And why have we been so negative throughout the day, or whatever it is that's been taking the moments, the precious moments away from us? This will make more sense spring 2025, but it starts now. It starts early as now, because we have Mars retrograding through Cancer, our 6th house of daily routines and work and agents, managers, immediate supervisors, staff, people that we employ. But then also it's going to be going into Leo, which is our other partner. It's the other person. So this, on one hand, could bring in fated agents and managers and people that we're hiring and, you know, that kind of thing. But it definitely is going to work. You know, I'm probably going to be working out again. That's probably going to be like getting back on the horse with health and, you know, that stuff. But it's going to be that we're really working hard at something. Now, maybe some Aquariuses are just going to be letting go of a grudge, and it's going to literally take you 8.5 months to get over a grudge. You do you. If that's how you want to use it, that's how you want to use it. I'm not judging you for that. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be that. You could let it go like right now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, pull that frustration that could be there into working out, getting healthy, being very positive in your moments day to day. That's the 6th house, is like, do you whistle while you work, or are you like negative and thinking about stupid things throughout the day? You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be redoing that. But as early as this week, you can strategize how you want to execute your daily schedule differently. What you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis is probably going to be changing and overhauling, including the health, including the fitness, and then also including your relationships with other people, or if you post on social media, your relationship with your audience. So there could be something changing in like your daily work and how that serves your audience if you post, if you do that kind of thing. All of this is to serve to stabilize your finances, stabilize your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value, feeling better about yourself. Asking for the raise, what you can be compensated based on your skills, talents, and abilities, what you consider to be your strengths financially, and building yourself up that way. All of this is also going to help Pluto complete their revolution and this overturning the status quo psychologically in self-sabotaging ways. Me feeling alienated from like religion and the Roman Catholic Church and anything having to do with that did end up hurting me. But it's because like the goodness was hijacked by the corrupt religious institutions. You know what I'm saying? So I lost out. So I was able to get it back with this Mary Magdalene gospel that was like recently found. And so, it could be healed. That's like one example, but it's like whatever you couldn't see about yourself that you were harming yourself with, you're self-sabotaging yourself with, addictions and bad habits, it's helping to overturn that. That's no longer going to be your status quo. You're going to be free of that. Also, this is miracles, behind the scenes, secret benefactors working for you behind the scenes. So it could be a very powerful time. You could be turning on some psychic abilities, hearing dead people, that kind of thing, talking to dead people, whatnot. So it could be spooky, but keep it open. You really need to keep an open mind, Aquas. Okay, for real, for real. Keep a very open mind and think youthful thoughts. Think happy, passionate, excited thoughts, and keep a healthy, bright mentality to help get you through anything that might be a little bit wonky, okay? Love you guys. Take very good care. And until next video, my lovely Aquas, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Ooh, grand finale, Pisces. This is a juicy, juicy week for you guys. You ready? Okay, here we go. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Risings. Welcome, 𝚊𝚗𝚗𝚕𝚗, to your week. This is one of the biggest weeks of the year for you. The other one being the first week of December. It's a portal that's going to catapult you to spring of 2025. Yes, listen very carefully. The Cazimi, the Sun, Mercury Cazimi in your 8th house of bonds you share with other people, boundaries you put up between you and anything in life. From September 29th to October the 1st, you are being informed of things. You know where you really stand with someone else, or someone else is making it clear where they really stand with you. This could also be very internal, where you know how you feel about other people. This can also reveal the true state of your finances with another person if you share finances and assets and investments with other people, or the state of the investments themselves. Be very careful. I have over leveraged my crypto assets in the past, and anyway, so, be careful. Be careful with what you share with other people. Be careful of sex with other people. Be careful of like entanglements. This would be a great time to disentangle from anything that doesn't feel good to you financially, sexually, or otherwise, and a great time to really bond and connect deeper with what does. And that even includes like life, thoughts about life, and just trusting in life, like just general trust in life. Okay, anyway, what is fruiting here? What is fruiting in this area of life for you? Take stock and assess it from how you felt from August 18th, or even since the middle of July. And you get to decide what you want to develop with your staff. Maybe it's with people like agents, managers, immediate supervisors, people you see on the daily basis. Maybe it's with your health. Maybe it is with even letting go of a grudge or fitness, but like maybe health matters. But also, I would say it's also what you share with these people. Maybe you get to develop or prune it back. So you either want to grow closer with these people and with this stuff, or you want to put up a little bit more of a boundary with these people and with some of this stuff. It's going to be up to you based on what you learn from September 29th to the 1st of October. The eclipse is happening here in the 8th house of death and dying and sex and rebirth and psychic ability and bonds and boundaries and baggage and transformation of overhaul of life and trust in life. So if there's a power that you should have had all along, maybe you always wanted to trust in your life, but other people told you to be logical. And you're like, okay, I should just do what makes sense. You always wanted to trust your intuition, but your parents are saying you're going to be crazy. You know, if there was a power that you should have had in a relationship, financially, sexually, be prepared to have it. Okay. You want to move in the direction that makes you feel youthful and young and passionate and excited about yourself. Go to, because the North Node's in Aries in your 2nd house. This is not relying on credit or somebody else. It's about feeling good in your own self-esteem, in your own skills, talents, and abilities. And if you are bonded with other people, to feel good about it and not feel like there's this conditional give and take. If you give, you feel good about giving. If you're taking, you feel good about taking. There's no weirdness. And if there is a weirdness, it's either on your side that you got to heal up, or it's on their side and they're being all toxic. You just got to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? So youthful and young, you know, what makes you feel like good, and stay away from crotchety old feelings. That's like a relic of the past. That's like the old Pisces. This now through spring 2025 is going to help you heal a lot of imbalance of power issues. The Mars retrograde, the shadow starts up this week, Pisces. You're going to be asking yourself, why have I been dating these kinds of people? Why have I been moving them in so quickly? Why have I been like your Mars retrograde is in your 5th house and going back into your 4th house. So the 5th house is love, sex, dating, passion, play, romance, your small business, people you're dating. And then the 4th house is, oh, it's not. It's the 5th house and the 6th house. Never mind. It's not that you're moving them in too quickly. I take that back. It's that you are, it's still the sex life, but it's with the staff or the people you see every day, or it's your health, or it's your rituals and routines. So some of you actually could be moving. You know, Jupiter in your 4th house is expanding your home life. So you could have relocated, you could have moved people in, you could have even gotten roommates or let roommates go to have more physical space, or, you know, so there are options with the living quarters. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that, but we're your Leo, Cancer, Mars retrograde is going to be like asking yourself, like, why have I been going and doing my love life like this? There could be like something about your schedule that got in the way of your love life. There could be something about your health and your daily routines, or the staff, agents, managers, immediate supervisors that got in the way of your love life, that got in the way of your happiness. And so this is a time when you're reacting, you're redoing things, you're doing it differently this time. So it'll make more sense by the time you get to spring 2025. You're going to look back and see, like, why did I do it that way? But it starts now that you get to strategize how you want to execute differently. So this could be some Pisces falling in love, starting a new sexual relationship, starting a new schedule or workout regimen or a new fitness routine that will make way more space for a better sex life or just more happiness in general. Now, all of this goes to stabilize you and concretize you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Risings with Saturn in your sign. This is going to help you feel just like more solid in your whole entire life and help you feel like more settled and solid and structured. This is all also going to help Pluto overhaul the status quo in your friends, groups, associations, and even dreams coming true, wishes coming true. So it's a pretty big important time right now. You want to use this before Pluto moves back into Aquarius. So it's going to be like, you know, now to like November-ish, mid-November or beginning of November-ish. But this is like, you are really overhauling how you see your future. And it cannot be status quo where it's like, you need to keep up with the Joneses bullshit, or you need to be friends with these people bullshit, or like you need to want this goal. Maybe you can just be happy with what you have, or, you know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be something that's just like the status quo is not for you. It's not for your life. And you're going to be feeling good about it, about making the changes so that that you do trust in life and that it does work for you. Love you, Pisces. Take very good care. Have a great week ahead, a great portal ahead. Until next video, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.